right, I welcome you back. Thank you for staying with us this morning. It is still Daybreak Live on Dominion Television, Ibadan. And of course, you know how we do it. Before we go, we must take the trend watch to tell you what is trending in the political sphere of Nigeria and sometimes beyond. I'm glad to be back here. Samson, well done.
Good to have you back, actually.
All right, so we have this interesting story coming from Peter Obi. He tweeted yesterday, and then the way he started his birthday, message to the wife of, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is actually trending currently on social media. He started with, "We are finished."
I mean, why?
Honestly, what an intro.
Why?
And then he continued to say, "I join millions of Nigerians in wishing our Excellency, Mrs. Oluremi Tinubu, a happy birthday. May God Almighty, who has been with her all these years, grant her many more years, fruitful and happy years." However, I was struck by irony reading a request that instead of cakes or newspaper advert, well-wishers should donate towards completing the National Library in Abuja. And then he said, "I recall that as a governor of Anambra State, I too urged that money meant for adverts be channeled into meaningful courses, computers for schools and classroom blocks, etc." He now said, "What kind of country must beg for charity to build the very temple of knowledge? What kind of leaders waste trillions on luxury and vanity while the National Library, our intellectual furnace, remains abandoned in the capital? Serious nations treat libraries as sacred, but here we reduce them to afterthought, begging bowls or birthday tokens." Honestly, I think he's trying to say that, he appreciates the fact that Our Excellency does not really, want people to buy our cakes or maybe, through an advert on the newspaper outlets, but then they can dedicate that money into building or completing the library. And then he said that he recalled that he did something similar during his birthday. But then he feels like, it is the responsibility of government to complete the library without asking for, birthday tokens, to be used to complete the library. What you make of that, honestly?
You see, it's when these things happen, I think it's not to take away the responsibility of the government. It's just to complement it. We have seen companies and individuals going straight into corporate social responsibilities. Some will provide water, some will tar the very road that leads to their factories or companies. And I think it is not in any way to stop the government from doing what is they are meant to do, but obviously to actually complement it. I'm just, I'm quite surprised by the way Peter Obi addressed that issue. I mean, we are finished. It doesn't really, for me, shouldn't be, the way to address this. And judging by the fact that he also did it once, so you were in that ship, you were in that. I don't think
maybe he feels because he was not in power.
You see, the truth is, when you look at the current situation, the First Lady is not saying this because the government cannot afford to complete that library. But she wants to make it a legacy project for herself. Oh, while I was, the wife of the president and my birthday, some people contributed this money for me to actually complete this project. I mean, that's a legacy she wants to leave there. But Peter Obi would always want to politicize everything, and that's exactly what he's doing. He mentioned in there that I have done this before. And I don't think this deserves any form of back and forth. The best thing you could have done is to just wish a happy birthday and just move on. But Peter Obi, there's always something to talk about, and there's always a visit to go to. And I think right now, people should begin to see Peter Obi more than more than what they are currently seeing. He should not be selective about his approach to things. He should be totally honest with everything. If you look at the write-up, he started with a way that some people would not really want to read that. They would definitely want to read the first paragraph and feel, oh, this is what exactly is happening. And then deep down, somewhere between these paragraphs, he posted there that, look, I have done this before. And this is not to actually take away the responsibility of the government, but to complement it. And I think that is the main goal he should be preaching now.
Okay, honestly, I think you're very spot on, because I really do not see a big deal, in saying that, okay, the money you want to use to buy me cakes or expensive,
instead of
gifts,
giving it to me, let's give it to the government.
Can we add it, to the money that we want to use to, complete that library? I don't see any big deal in that, but then, he's trying to be very effective as an opposition party, and kudos to whoever wrote that, if it's Peter Obi himself that wrote that, or maybe someone did, because, I mean, the intro alone, we are finished. That particular line is trending online with thousands of tweets, and I was forced to check, because sometimes when I see an hashtag, I try to look out for what is going on, because I mean, funny hashtags sometimes on X. So when I looked through, I saw that, you know, people were already dragging, you know, I don't know, that tweet, you know, was able to set, I mean, the wife of the president, you know, for drags, because a lot of persons are saying, okay, this and that, while some persons are still trying to celebrate that happy birthday. I mean, I don't think it's a big deal to even celebrate. For people who want to, I'm very sure that most persons that want to maybe gift her or maybe, you know, celebrate our newspaper, they might not even be politicians. They might just be people that are, you know, close to our relatives, friends. And well-wishers and the like. So I really do not see this as a very good argument to talk about this, because you've done it, you know, once. And of course, maybe he's trying to say that I'm not in power. These people are in power and they can do better. So instead of saying use the money to complete the library, why can't they, you know,
was also
do this
sitting governor
themselves?
when he did it the other time.
We'll check the comments now. You see some of the things that people have to say about the fact that, I mean, you were governor for 8 years. What did you do? But then I think while he was in power, he always mentioned that, you know, he was able to do well in that area of education. Let's check out, you know, the comment to have more talking points this morning.
All right.
The first comment is coming from Mervin, and he's saying, Tinubu, at the moment, imagine congratulating you and setting you off for drag at the same time. Yes, or you know whether to say thank you or respond angrily. I'm not sure the presidency will reply to this comment.
Actually, it's not necessary. It now depends on, you know, whoever is handling our social media handles. But for me, I think as a person, it doesn't really necessary, because that will actually set her up for more drags. Let's just leave the matter that way. Otumba Cappuccino is saying, Lamau, we are finished in the beginning of the birthday message. Really, I mean, I really am not comfortable with that. That's exactly where I had issues with the message. You know, you don't just start a birthday message and then put that person in.
If you do that to a friend of yours, even if you are cruising, you are joking, you might actually tamper with the mood of the birthday person.
Right.
Let's not even talk about the wife of the president of the country.
That's not good enough.
The last comment this morning before we go is coming from Chichogu, saying, man had 8 years as governor and is now acting brand new, like he just discovered Nigeria's problems yesterday. Peter Obi has been consistent.
If he was, you know,
when it comes to talking about government.
When it comes to talking about the government, for the last few years, he has been consistent since he decided to run for president. Now, the issue is, I don't want to blame him for doing this, actually, because you always want to be in the spotlight. You want people to always hear from you from time to time. And one of the things you can do is to put yourself out there deliberately. And I think this is what Peter Obi is doing. And we have seen people who have successfully done that in recent times. Look at Portable, for example. Portable will definitely deliberately do something that will put him where people will always talk about him. Whether it is positive or negative, you always talk about him. Also, it would always put it, honestly, they will always put themselves in a situation where you would always talk
even
about
celebrities them. You mentioned Portable. Look at Vicky James. A lot of persons will always, you know, drag on, like to say.
In fact, most times our own content would, you know, set up our husband for drags. I mean,
honestly, and I don't think the husband is, you know, is angry about it. So I don't understand why Nigerians sometimes you are more concerned than the owner of the matter.
I mean, people always cry more than they believed in Nigeria, and that's the trend. But then we need to dial it down a little bit, tone it down in some way that you will not, you know, be too, too concerned than the person that is actually concerned. Let me put it that way. But most definitely, it is always like that in Nigeria, and we need to learn how to manage the situation. Peter Obi, he has done so very well by congratulating the wife of the president, but
we are finished here, go.
That's not good enough for me. Well, we have to go. Our time is fast spent on the show this morning. We say thank you to everyone that has been a part of this show so far. Do well to link up with us again tomorrow, same time, same station, of course, at the same show. Samson Balogun is my name. Do not forget that champions are not made in the stadium. They are made of something deep inside of them. Until tomorrow, bye for now. Well, thank you for being a part of the show this morning. Do well to join us same time tomorrow as we bring to you more fresh stories. And before we go, I want to tell you that you can be kind to people in several ways, through your words and, of course, several other means. My name is Oluremi Tinubu. I'm saying good morning.